I'm Charles Payne, and you're watching Making Money. Hey, did Janet Yellen just paint a picture of idyllic days right around the corner? In a speech today in Rhode Island, I heard the Fed chairman suggest that America is just about at a perfect moment in time. Everything's coming up roses. I mean, think about it. She says we're close to maximum employment, that inflation is stable, and that home prices are moving up appreciably in many areas. Well, as we head into this Memorial Day weekend, this is absolutely phenomenal news, but is it true? How could it really be that we're entering into some sort of Pax Americana when so many Americans don't have a clue? We're going to ask the panel, and as we ask the panel, we have 4 special guests here with us as well. It's Fleet Week in New York. There they go, the people that keep us free and safe. All right, guys, now to the investment pros. Speaking of someone that has kept us free and safe, Jessie Jane Duff is here. She's not a retired Marine gunnery sergeant. She's always a Marine, right?
Semper Fi.
See, Semper Fi. She almost had Jim Frischling doing push-ups on that one. Hey, Chris Russell is with us, also co-portfolio manager of the Needham Growth Fund. Jim Frischling, of course, president of New Oak Capital. Hillary Kramer, looking fabulous in her diamonds, president and chief investment officer at A&G Capital. And, of course, Matt McCall, founder and president of Penn Financial Group. All right, guys, let's dig into it. Happy days are here again, right, Jim? You're the Fed whisperer. Why did I hear Janet Yellen say that we're almost at this perfect storm? I mean, no inflation, housing prices going up, jobs are going up. I mean, that's not the America I see when I look out the window.
Well, look, she's absolutely right. But from her perspective, whether it's her view of macro versus America's view of micro, or in the spirit of the military being here, airstrikes versus ground strikes, her job is maximum employment, stable inflation. And she's very happy housing's going up. That's all true. But when you get into the weeds, when you start digging into these numbers, it actually doesn't work out.
It's weeds a euphemism when you get into the facts.
Yes.
It's weeds a euphemism for facts.
Well, again, she is playing from helicopter Ben, they used to call her predecessor, could drop a lot of cash into these markets, a lot of liquidity. The fact is they can't actually start moving the needle on a number of things. And I think that's where that's the disconnect. The American people want to see actual things happening for them, not just a job, but a good paying job.
Sure.
Not just housing, but affordable housing so they can they benefit their own lives and make improvements. That's the disconnect I see. Macro versus micro, air versus ground.
I also see, guys, with Janet Yellen, particularly with this Fed and this particular Congress, she has a real, sort of, in my mind, a difficult job justifying their very existence, because how many Americans even know what it really is? I mean, it's a private partner, government, quasi. We don't know what the heck it is, but somehow it's got this extraordinary power that out of thin air they can print $4 trillion. And guess what? Most people haven't seen that, Chris.
Look, I think she's backed into a corner, and she's got to be talking up the economy. Things are doing better because she's not raising rates here in June. Is she going to do it in September? She's got to build that rhetoric that things are in a good spot. We can do this. The economy can sustain it. However, when you look at where the rubber meets the road, how many people are on food stamps in this country that have been on here now for the last 6 years? It's only growing. I wouldn't say we're in a great situation.
Millions and millions and millions of people, Jessie Jane, have left the job market. People are on food stamps. Wages have gone down. This sort of beautiful, Huck Finn, idyllic sort of thing where we wake up and don't worry about anything because it's going to be a beautiful, sunshiny day. I mean, this is why people get angry with government in general.
Yes, absolutely. Right now, the government has given us the impression things are rosy when, in fact, most of the government overreach, like your EPA, your IRS, are crippling and handicapping people from accelerating in business. The government is basically suffocating people to a point where they don't have economic prosperity. Our middle class right now, many of those people stopped even looking for jobs. So we have false numbers coming out that give the impression that we have economic prosperity when many of these people can't even get on unemployment anymore and have either early retired or gone on disability.
Well, ask Hillary, because she also is making assumptions, and admittedly she's making assumptions that things are going to get better right around the corner. Retail sales have been a disaster all year long. Right around the corner, it's going to get better. Almost every other data point that I could think of, whether it's wages being slightly down the flat, whether it's whatever it is, she's making these amazing assumptions that just around the corner, it's going to instantaneously get better. How? How would that happen?
Janet Yellen is really defending her legacy. That's what she's trying to do.
Her legacy? She just started it. She needs to defend the organization. Why should it exist? Her legacy.
And so the problem is we have all these asset bubbles that have been created. So that's why Janet Yellen keeps saying everything's getting better, everything's getting better. Look at the damage that the Fed has done to our markets and to the middle class and to everyone who has suffered through 2008, 2009. So I think what's going going to happen is Janet Yellen, by saying, I'm going to stick with the data and everything's going to get better, she's trying to lay the groundwork because she has to raise rates.
I don't see damage to the market. The market's trading at an all-time high. So I think the market, it was fine. The Fed inflated this bubble, and that was Bernanke's goal from day one. In Washington Post op-ed he wrote a couple of years ago, that's what he's going to do, inflate the market.
But hold on one second. Let's talk about that. Why would you inflate assets?
Because if you inflate assets, people at home, their 401ks, their retirement accounts will increase in value off multi-year lows. They feel like they have more money. They feel richer. Perception becomes reality. You go out and spend more money, and the cycle begins.
That's called the wealth effect. Yeah. Why hasn't the wealth effect taken hold on Main Street? In my mind, it's because Main Street can't get a piece of the action. Someone mentioned Helicopter Ben. Yeah, imagine if someone flew down this street right now with a helicopter dropping out cash. Whoever the pilot is, we'd be sending kisses up to him, you know what I mean? Jesse J might jump on it, you know what I mean? But the point is, it's not coming to everyone's pocket. Matt just said it's only gone to a handful of people, so that's where the disconnect is. There is no wealth effect.
Well, twofold. One is we've been talking on the show often about, I call it permanent temporary employment. There's actually been a material shift in the way people are being hired and keeping people kind of in, not giving them the full type of employment that they would like. The other thing is when you had the collapse, you have this huge fear factor. And to a certain extent, a lot of mom and pops, a lot of more of the retail investors, I think, got a lot more spooked than
But I'm talking about entrepreneurship at record lows. I'm just saying Main Street doesn't have that sort of the impetus to go out there and do what Americans have done for a long time, and it was supposed to happen by now.
Well, we do not have a business-friendly government. But if you look into states that are business-friendly, taxing businesses is not a good thing. That's where you attract them when you have very tax-friendly environments. That's what we should be focused on. That's what creates jobs, and that's what brings wealth.
I will say that I think we all agree, too. We've been beating up Janet Yellen pretty good. She's got the monetary policy, the fiscal side. Fiscal policy, I think we all agree, has been just absolutely destructive. All right, guys.